For more on the housing market and what to expect from the spring selling season, we are joined by Logan Mohtashami. He is the lead analyst for Housing Wire. And Logan, what explains this? What happened here?
I just believe we just had a waterfall dive in demand last year, taking existing home sales to about roughly 4 million, which historically, post 1996, we don't really trend below that. But to the real story, total housing inventory is near all-time lows still. So we just simply don't have enough product if demand picks up slightly. So I think that's where the confusion is. It's not like housing demand rebounded in a very strong way. We're just in a strong seasonal time, and a lot of people are just looking for homes and not a lot out there currently.
You think that this does, though, bode for a very strong spring selling season? People had been thinking that prices need to come down, but maybe it was just that mortgage rates needed to not march higher just as quickly.
Well, last year we went from 3% to above 7%. Historically, that's very abnormal. In the second half of 2022, new listings data started to decline more noticeably year over year. So a traditional seller is also a traditional buyer as well. So we had a vacuum in demand. So I caution people not to overread this. Literally, we've just had a small bounce from the bottom. And we'll see what happens throughout the spring. Mortgage rates have risen 0.5% from the recent lows. But as long as purchase application data, which looks forward 30 to 90 days, as long as that keeps on continuing, it should be a much better atmosphere than what we had in the second half of 2022.
If a lot of this, though, is inventory based, when do you anticipate that there's going to be a return to more inventory? Because the home builders have really slowed down.
Housing permits are probably going to fall all year long. The builders have actually more homes under construction that haven't been started yet than the active listings for them. So you're not going to get much help from them. It's really if people start to list their homes more. Usually we have bottomed out in seasonal inventory in January, February. The last few years, it's moved out to March and April. But we should get the traditional spring rise that will give a little bit more active listings. But again, we started the year under 1 million using the NAR inventory levels. Historically, there's only 2 times that's happened this year and last year. So we just don't have enough active listings. So too many people chasing too few homes.
Yeah, I mean, that's been the story that we've seen time and time again in so many industries over the last several years. Logan, so much of real estate, though, is a local story, not a national one. Is there a way to break this down? Places where it's hotter, places where it's not?
I believe that parts of the U.S. where actually you have inventory back to 2019 levels, those were the areas where you saw a really hot home price growth. The demand isn't as good there as other places, but really the places in America that are well below 2019 inventory levels, it just seems like a really hot market. They just don't have enough homes right now. So mortgage rates fell 1.5%. It brought a little bit of demand up. We haven't seen that for over 12 months now. So we're just going to get a little bit of a bounce here. We just have to track it 1 week at a time and see if that continues. If mortgage rates continue to rise above 7% again, that should slow things down. But as of right now, it's just a small bounce from a very, very deep dive in demand last year.